as Tumbarumba hangs out in the first stall closest to the office. Brian, you don't let him get very far away.
No, he's always been a house favourite, and so we're very excited about this year's Breeders' Cup, and he had his final hit out today. Nice piece of work going into it. Couldn't be more thrilled with that. So we're going to do our best to get him over there as safe and sound as we can, and hopefully he's going to bring his A game.
He worked in company, and it seemed like a pretty quick time. Is that kind of typical of him?
I just think he's in very good form right now, Caton, and I always quote the great Ron McAnally, when good horses are good, they work good. So let's hope that's the case.
Take me to the mile itself and what the ideal situation for him looks like. Obviously, it's going to be the toughest test, but where does he fit? Where should he sit? What would you like to see happen?
I think there's going to be a very legitimate pace from the get-go, and I think he's a very tactical horse, so I think he could sit within striking range. And look, I'd like to see him at the quarter pole and getting involved in the lead and showing the tenacity that he showed in the ACAC, and that'd be the perfect in a perfect world.
Did he have to convince you to go in the Breeders' Cup mile, or was it always kind of on the radar and something that you were hoping for?
Well, no, it was certainly something you're hoping for, Caton, because after last year's effort, which I thought was a pretty genuine effort as a first start as a 4-year-old, I thought it was a really good effort to run fourth there. And then his form got a little shaky. He was, running good, but he just wasn't hitting his straps like we would hope he would. And then after the Cowboy, he trained really well going into the Cowboy Jones at Ellis. And I thought that was a game when he drew the rail. Not an ideal situation for him. Tyler was able to take him back and get him to the outside. And he really run game that day. So it gives you the hope that the ACAC was the next step. And if he was able to pull that off, then we were, we had a legit chance of going back to the Breeders' Cup. And I think he's racing the ACAC. He took it to Hit Show, who was a heavy favourite in the race. And, the betters made it a one-horse race. And them two hooked up from the get-go, and I think it was one of the most exciting stretch drives that I've run a horse in this year, because he laid it down all the way to the wire, and he showed he's the sort of the spark that everybody sort of jumped on his bandwagon as a young horse, because he'd really gut out tough races, and he showed that in the ACAC, and he's trained on really well since. So, hey, look, I just wouldn't trade spots with anyone. I think he's doing that well.
Appreciate it, Brian.
Thanks, Caton.
I'd say he put the sparkle in Brian's eye, but it's always there.
All right, thanks.